Welcome to the deep dive, where we really get into the source material so you can be instantly well-informed. Our mission today is quite something. It's an intensive psychological and sociological look into the blueprint for modern anarchy and, well, anti-consumerist philosophy, tailored for you, the discerning learner.
And we're starting this deep dive right at the peak of the chaos. Picture this. 191 floors up, Parker Moore's building.
Yeah.
The narrator's there, on the roof.
Yeah.
He's got a gun in his mouth, yeah. Put there by Tyler Durden, his own creation. And below, you just hear this cacophony, glass-breaking, filing cabinets, desks, basically corporate history itself, just plummeting onto the street.
It's just the ultimate statement of nihilism, isn't it? And the building itself is rigged to blow, minutes away, all thanks to Project Mayhem. And it's not just random violence this is planned. It's about destroying, quote, every scrap of history.
Right. And the weapon, nitroglycerin, which is derived from, believe it or not, a pretty simple household process if you know what you're doing.
Okay, but the key here is the symbolism, not just the chemistry.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's crucial. Tyler's followers, these space monkeys, they've weaponized the very stuff of civilization in a way. Glycerin, which you can get from making soap, that's the base. You mix it with strong acids, boom, nitroglycerin.
And there's that tiny detail slipped in right at the start.
The paraffin, yes. They tell us mixing nitro with paraffin never works. Hold on to that little technicality. It's important later.
It really sets up the depth of the planning here, which is kind of shocking when you think about where our narrator started.
Trapped in the corporate void, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, his job was the absolute definition of high-stress, white-collar, technical work. Recall campaign coordinator.
For a big car company.
Yeah.
And it forced him day in and day out to see human life basically through a spreadsheet, purely financial.
And that formula they used, it's just chillingly simple. They called it X.
Right. A times B times C.
You take A, the number of cars out there, multiply by B, the chance they'll fail, multiply that by C, the average settlement costs.
And if the total X is less than the cost of a full recall.
They don't recall. Simple as that. Let it ride.
His job wasn't safety. It was managing liability.
Yeah.
Just cold, hard calculation. And that kind of cynicism, you can see how it leads to something like chronic insomnia. He says, what, up to 4 days straight without sleep?
Wow.
Yeah. When your whole professional life is based on putting a price tag on human loss, well, the soul starts looking for release in some really strange places.
And his way out was just bizarre. Faking terminal illnesses to go to support groups.
Remaining men together, above and beyond. Yes, it sounds counterintuitive, but he said he needed full attention.
Attention.
Think about it. As a corporate drone, nobody really saw him. But when he was pretending to be dying of, brain parasites or cancer, people listened. They focused on him.
It gave him oblivion, he says. A place to just let go and cry by basically borrowing other people's real suffering.
And the image that really hammers this home is Big Bob, this huge guy weeping with bitch tits from hormone therapy after testicular cancer. Bob is the real deal. Genuine, painful vulnerability. And our narrators is trying to soak some of that up,
But that fragile piece, that therapeutic lie, it gets completely shattered by Marla Singer.
Marla, yes. She's another a tourist, he calls her. She's hitting all the same groups, PB, melanoma, whatever.
And her being there is like holding up a mirror he just can't face.
Exactly. She's a liar, just like him. And seeing his own lie reflected back instantly destroys his ability to cry, to find that oblivion. He can't sleep again.
So it really poses that question, doesn't it? If your life is built on a lie and that lie crumbles, how much truth do you need? Where do you go next?
And the answer wasn't more therapy, apparently. It was Tyler Durden. The exhaustion from faking feeling had to give way to, well, physical honesty, brutal honesty.
Which starts, of all places, on a nude beach. He meets Tyler there, who's all sweaty, covered in sand.
And Tyler's doing this strange thing, building a shadow sculpture. A giant hand made of shadows. It's described as perfect for 1 minute, and then it just collapses.
That's a powerful image. Temporary perfection found in total, naked honesty.
And Tyler's very first line to the narrator, it just cuts right through everything. He asks him, do you know what time it is? Right here, right now.
A demand for presence. Forget the past, forget the future, just be here. Which is the total opposite of corporate anxiety, planning, calculating X.
Exactly. And the destruction of the narrator's apartment shortly after. That's like the practical application of this whole idea.
Right, because the apartment wasn't just a place to live. It was, how did he put it, a filing cabinet for widows and young professionals.
Filled with all this perfect, aspirational Swedish furniture. He even lists the names, remember? The Haparanda sofa, the Yohanishov armchair, the Rizlampa lamps.
Why list the catalog names?
Because it shows how curated it all was. It wasn't about comfort. It was about projecting an image. Conformity. A borrowed identity of success.
So when it all burns down.
He has this massive realization. The things you used to own, now they own you. You work your life away to buy stuff that then dictates how you live, what you value. It's a trap.
And the only way out of that trap, in Tyler's view, is self-destruction, but framed as self-improvement.
Which leads to that first brutal request. I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
It's not about winning a fight. It's about feeling something real, searching for scars.
Exactly. A physical rebellion against feeling too complete, too numb, too anesthetized by modern life.
And just like that, Fight Club is born.
Yeah, and beyond those famous first two rules, you know the ones.
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Right. The real purpose was this feeling of resurrection. Men felt saved in the basement, fighting. It's presented as this dangerous antidote for a generation of men raised by women, supposedly lacking rites of passage, lacking definition.
So Fight Club gives them that definition, turns white-bread men into something solid, carved out of wood, as he says.
In the fight, they found power. They felt alive, saved even.
Okay, but a movement like this, it needs resources, an engine.
Enter the Paper Street Soap Company. Tyler, who's juggling jobs as a projectionist and a waiter, starts making high-end soap. Rendered tallow, mixed with lye, seems almost quaint.
But the source of that tallow,
Yeah.
that's the real kicker, the aha moment.
Oh, it's disgustingly brilliant. The fat isn't from animals. It's human fat. Liposuction fat. Gleaned, as Tyler puts it, from the dumpsters behind cosmetic surgery clinics.
He even gets fat from Marla's mother, her familial collagen trust fund.
That's the detail given, yes. He takes this unwanted, discarded part of wealthy people, turns it into expensive soap.
And sells it right back to the same class of people who paid to have it removed in the first place.
It's the perfect, cynical, anti-capitalist loop. Pure Tyler Durden.
But terrifyingly, that same soap-making process holds the key to destruction.
Because the clear liquid byproduct separated during boiling, that's glycerin.
And glycerin plus nitric acid equals
Nitroglycerin. The foundation for all the explosives Project Mayhem uses. They are literally weaponizing human waste, the byproduct of vanity.
this cycle, creation and destruction. It gets formalized in that initiation ritual, doesn't it? The lie kiss.
Yeah. Tyler takes lye flakes, puts them on the narrator's hand in the shape of a kiss, and then activates it with saliva, a chemical burn.
And tells him this pain is the greatest moment of your life because everything after is just story.
The pain forces the truth home. The lesson is stark. You will die, and until you know that, you're useless to me. And there's that grim historical nod, too, the idea that the first soap might have come from lye and fat runoff from human sacrifices. It grounds the philosophy in this idea of self-immolation, burning away the old self.
So once they have the chemical means and this philosophical framework, the movement escalates big time into Project Mayhem.
And this isn't just about basement fights anymore. The goal is huge. A cultural ice age, a prematurely induced dark age.
Why? What's the point of that level of chaos?
The idea is to break civilization down so radically that the Earth can recover from humanity's impact. It's extreme environmentalism through anarchy.
And the philosophy behind it, that they're God's middle children, ignored with no special place in history.
Right. So if God won't pay attention to them for being good, they'll force his attention by being his worst enemy. Anything is better than being nothing. Destruction becomes their way of creating meaning.
And it's organized. A bureaucracy of anarchy. That sounds like a contradiction.
It does, but it's structured. Committees for arson, assault, mischief, misinformation. Highly organized chaos.
And the recruits, the space monkeys, they have to be totally committed. Passing that Buddhist temple test, waiting outside for 3 days.
No food, no encouragement, total devotion. Then they shave their heads, burn off their fingerprints with lye, erasing their entire past identity to become part of the machine.
The assignments ranged from petty sabotage to large-scale disruption. Tyler using his old jobs.
Peeing in soup, splicing single frames of porn into family movies like Cinderella. Classic Tyler disruption.
But the Mischief Committee, they aimed higher.
Oh yeah, painting that angry pumpkin or Japanese demon face on major buildings like the Hein Tower, creating those bumper stickers, I drive better when I'm drunk.
Just sowing chaos and misinformation.
And even attacking the digital world, developing a virus to make ATMs just vomit storms of $10 and $20 bills. It's anarchy as a distributed network, attacking society on all fronts.
But this kind of meticulously planned chaos, it's built on a foundation that's fundamentally unstable, isn't it? Which leads the narrator to his breaking point.
The big reveal. The discovery of the Tyler Durden identity. It happens when the narrator is trying to track Tyler's movements across the country.
He walks into a bar in Seattle.
And the bartender recognizes him, calls him Mr. Durden.
How does he know for sure?
The birthmark. The narrator has this birthmark on his foot, shaped like Australia and New Zealand.
Oh.
Only he, his dad, and Marla know about it,
Yeah.
and the bartender mentions it.
So he finally understands Tyler isn't just an influence, he's another personality.
A separate, autonomous entity. The book suggests dissociative personality disorder, or maybe more accurately, a psychogenic fugue state.
Okay, break that down for us, a fugue state.
It's basically a temporary, pretty severe form of amnesia. You lose your sense of identity, might wander off, even adopt a new one for a while.
Yeah.
In this case, Tyler was the personality that operated when the narrator was asleep. Tyler was the one building the network, running Project Mayhem.
And the human cost of this whole psychological split, this entire movement, really hits home with the first death.
Robert Paulson.
Yeah.
Big Bob, from the support groups.
He's killed during a Project Mayhem homework assignment, a chill and drill.
Yeah, the police mistake his cordless drill for a gun during some act of vandalism.
Yeah.
And he's shot.
And his death. It changes things, doesn't it? It punctures the cool nihilism of it all.
Absolutely. The rule they create immediately chanting, his name is Robert Paulson. It's the first time Fight Club, or Project Mayhem, actually assigns individual dignity in death. It's a stark contrast to that cold X formula the narrator used to live by. But it's also a mantra of obedience, isn't it?
Yeah.
Reinforcing Tyler's cult-like control, even in grief.
So, in the climax, the narrator is desperate. He tries to stop the final act blowing up the Parker Morris building.
Tries to shut down Fight Club, expose Tyler, but his own followers just physically carry him out. They crowd surf him out of the room. He has no control left.
He races to the roof for that final showdown.
And Marla shows up. She followed him, and she tells him she knows his real name. Crucially, she says she likes him, the narrator, the anxious, fragmented guy, not the destructive Tyler persona. She sees the difference.
Then comes the moment with the explosives themselves.
They fail. The charge doesn't go off, and the narrator realizes why. Tyler used paraffin.
The one ingredient they said never works.
Exactly. Maybe it was subconscious self-sabotage. Maybe Tyler, deep down, didn't want their shared existence to end. Or maybe just a final ironic twist.
But realizing he can't stop Tyler using Tyler's own faulty plan, the narrator has to choose a different way.
He shoots himself, puts the gun in his own mouth, pulls the trigger, aiming to destroy the body they share, to finally kill the Tyler personality.
But he wakes up in a hospital, this clean white space he calls heaven.
He's alive, scarred, definitely. He has this massive, jagged smile from ear to ear where the bullet went through his cheek. He survived the physical destruction, won the psychological war, maybe.
But that ending is still so unsettling. The hospital staff who visit him.
They have the telltale signs, black eyes, stitches. They're implied to be Project Mayhem members.
Yeah.
Space monkeys.
And they whisper to him.
Everything's going according to the plan. It's chilling. The individual narrator might be changed, maybe even free in some way. But the ideology, the network, it's survived. It's still going.
So if we pull back and look at the whole journey, from faking illness and support groups just to feel something, to creating this global anarchist movement, to literal self-destruction, where does he end up philosophically?
While he's recovering, he seems to reach this place of almost profound passivity. His conclusion is, we are not special. We are not crap or trash either. We just are. We just are, and what happens just happens.
He even says you can't teach God anything, which feels like a huge shift.
It really is.
Yeah.
He started out calculating X, trying to control outcomes. Project Mayhem was all about forcing change, active nihilism. But he ends up in this almost Buddhist state of acceptance, realizing that fighting the universe, whether with spreadsheets or explosives, is maybe futile.
Moving from that intense active destruction back towards just existing.
Yeah, it suggests the whole violent revolution might have just been this extreme necessary phase he had to pass through, between the lie of his old corporate life and the maybe simpler truth of just being.
Which loops back to Tyler's big idea, doesn't it? It's only after you've lost everything that you're free to do anything. So, for you, the discerning learner listening, here's something to maybe mull over. If your own path to freedom demanded losing everything, demanded destruction, what one thing would you sacrifice first? your job, your possessions, or maybe even your current identity.
Yeah, think about that tension. Do you need to actively destroy something to find freedom, or is freedom found more passively in acceptance?
Lots to think about there. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.